Jeffrey and Rhonda are nominated for eviction, but what will this weekend's Golden Power Veto competition entail? Find out now on Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All Stars. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All Stars. It's day 5 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week Curtis is the first head of household of the season. He nominated Jeffrey and Rhonda for eviction, but the Golden Power Veto could still change the nominations. What will the Golden Power Veto competition be? We'll find out shortly. But first, I apologize if this episode is a little bit short today, but I've noticed in season 3 and 4 when I say the episode's going to be short, I ramble on for like half an hour, so it'll probably be the longest one ever. But for those of you that don't know, I am playing in a Survivor org called XTC, Extremely Time Consuming Survivor, Ecstasy. And it started November 1st, and so how I got into it was Chantal and Jojo played Phil's Facebook Survivor, shout out. And then Jojo got me in touch with Phil. We were supposed to do a Sequester Mini together. That never panned out. And then Phil asked me to play Phil's Facebook Survivor 38 and did terribly. I'm a great host and producer, but I'm a terrible player. It's funny how sometimes superfans are like the worst players, like awful. But I did have fun, and that's the point. And then I played in a couple of minis, and I also played in Backyard Big Brother, shout out. And so this is my 7th now. I count Backyard Big Brother as an org, even though it's a live reality game. Who cares? So this is my 7th attempt now, and it started November 1st, a month before Big Brother Cheesecake started. So I thought, a month? I'll be out in sometime in November. There's no way there's going to be any overlap with Cheesecake. And I'm still somehow in the game. And I am now in the top 11 out of 24. So past halfway somehow, and I'm in shock. So because of that, I'm doing Cheesecake and I'm playing at the same time. And it's definitely tough to find the time to do my diary rooms. So I'm lacking content for the episode from the diary rooms, and that's my fault. But this weekend, I plan on doing more diary rooms. If I haven't reached out to you, by all means, just get into contact with me and we'll shoot the shit. From what I've heard so far with the people that I have discussed the nominations with, obviously I can't give anything away, but there are lots of pros and cons for keeping Jeffrey and keeping Rhonda. But what's interesting is they vary vastly from person to person. Unlike in past seasons or in fresh seasons with a fresh cast, where typically week 1 the pros and cons are pretty much the same for everybody. This season, the stakes are obviously higher, and everybody has a different agenda, regardless of how you did in your previous season. Everybody has different connections, and so keeping Jeffrey and keeping Rhonda have pros and cons that are very different, and that's pretty much all I can say. But it is interesting. Nobody distinctly said I want to keep this person. But it was interesting to hear how there really are good reasons for both. And you know what? If you are a good Big Brother player, which clearly I'm not, you will recognize the pros and cons to keeping each nominee. Because I really don't think there's ever a case where it's clear-cut that one person needs to go and one person needs to stay. There's always a reason why both should go or stay. So it'll be interesting if the nominations stay the same to see what happens between Jeffrey and Rhonda. Rai, Marcin, Lynn from season 3, and then Charlene got into it about the anti-vax thing on the comments in the Big Brother Cheesecake public forum. So if you're on the Big Brother Cheesecake public forum, underneath my post for day 4, which was yesterday, they got into it. I'm not going to read it out because it's a lot and because it's not really relevant to the game, but it was pretty funny how Lynn and Charlene are very anti-vax, and Rai and Marcin are pro, and it is quite the read. It reminded me of when Nick and Jack got into it over Aunt Jemima being taken off the bottle, which I know is a very different issue, but it's the same kind of lively debate that I really appreciate, and it was a very fun read. And fun fact, Jack did say at the time that you're next, Uncle Ben, from Uncle Ben's Rice, and Uncle Ben is still there. And I don't think they've taken Aunt Jemima off yet, have they? Next time I go into a grocery store, I'm going to check. Because maybe that was only in the U.S. It's possible that they kept her here. Because we love our Aunt Jemima here, but I'm not getting into that. Great syrup. Okay, so the next thing. Each of the 4 seasons have their own chat. And the season 2, 3, and 4 chat is relatively quiet. Season 4, Rai posts a lot of gifs and pictures of food, which is always fun. Season 2 and 3 has been quite quiet as well. Season 1 is lively, but not in a family way. What happens is basically Chad and Jeffrey tell each other to go fuck themselves all day. Eitan says, cool it, and then they team up and tell him to fuck off, and he's like, why do I bother? Like, for instance, I didn't actually have this planned out, but so Chad says, we all know Jeffrey will find a way to win. And by win, I mean cheat. Who else are you working with, Jeffy? Hey, bros, it's me, Jeffrey. Remember the surfer guy dude from season 1? Cool guy? No one at this point. I knew I would be nominated. I'm an easy target. Then he said something that I probably shouldn't say, so I'm not going to say it. Chad says, so much hate, Jeffy. You can't tell me a player like yourself isn't working with anyone at all. Cool it, Chad. You're not sounding very Final Four-y. No lies between us, Final Four, Jeffy. So, spoiler alert, in case you don't already know, this really is... The season 1 people might get upset, but they made, like, in their group chat, they decided to work with each other. I've told you at the time that Chad, Jeffrey, Charlene, and Eitan working together would last about 10 minutes. So it's really this is really, yeah, yeah. I don't even know why they bothered making a Final Four. There was no freaking way in hell those 4 are ever going to work together. But anywho, I think it was fake for all 4 of them in the first place. Let's move on. What's next? So before I get to the Golden Power Veto competition, I know I'm forgetting something, and it is going to bother me to no end. Oh, no, I did. I said that yesterday about the Amethyst Veto. There is something else I wanted to talk about, and I can't seem to remember. So, okay. I guess it will be a short episode. Let's get to the rules for the Golden Power Veto competition. So only 6 house guests will participate in the Golden Power Veto competition. The head of household, now I remember. There are some people trying to fade into the background, so every now and then I'm just going to say their name. Like, hi Nicole, hi Jonathan. But it's because I don't want this to end up being like season 22 of Big Brother, where it's just boring. So yeah, but... Okay, so Golden Power Veto competition. Only 6 players are participating. The head of household, Curtis, the 2 nominees, Jeffrey and Rhonda, and 3 players selected in a random draw, which were Joanne, Eitan, and a player selected by Rhonda, who chose Rai, which was interesting that she chose someone from season 4 and not from season 2. That was an interesting choice. She told me why. I'm wondering if she would be okay with me saying why. Yeah, I think she would be okay with it. She told me that Ryan was the first person that reached out to her, and she just went by seniority. So, okay. I mean, the reason is valid, but personally, I don't know if Rai is more likely to use it on her than people from her own season or other people in the game, but we shall find out. If Rai wins, which he didn't do well in this comp in season 4. Okay, the competition is a recurring competition that premiered last season, called Big Brother Total Recall. And here's how it works. This competition premiered in season 4. It was won by Lindsay and very famously was lost by Curtis in a tiebreaker when he said the number 86. Lindsay said 95 and the answer is 141, and Curtis did a famous like head tilt to show how much he sucks. The head tilt of shame. But he ended up staying that week, which is fine. So I screwed this competition up in season 4, and that's why I wanted to do it again, to redeem myself. Because when I screw up, I like to redeem myself. And what happened was, I had Tiffany in the group chat as a distraction. But Tiffany didn't distract anybody in the competition, she just distracted me. Which then made me screw up something else, which I'll get to in a second. And the whole thing was a big hullabaloo, and it took way longer than it should have. I'm determined to get this one done in half an hour. So, we're playing at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, that's what it was. So Jeffrey messages me like 10 minutes ago at 1 a.m. So, like, I just got off my surfboard, bro. The competition's at 10 a.m., right? And I'm like, are you high the night before the Veto comp that you need to win? Well, yeah, but I was also high for the 6 competitions I won in Season 1, and I'm like, sounds about right. So anyway, here's how Total Recall works. At 10 a.m., I will post a link to a YouTube video. You will have the amount of time that the video takes to watch the YouTube video, and I'll add 30 seconds just in case, people's internet connections are slow. Rhonda's playing in her car. So you will watch the YouTube video, we'll all watch it at once, and at the end of the YouTube video there will be a series of questions, and whoever gets the most questions right, or whoever does the best on the... No, you're answering all the questions, and whoever does the best, I'll clarify, will win the Golden Power Veto. So last season, Tiffany came in as a distraction, didn't work. Then I posted a broken YouTube link, which started in the middle, so that was a screw up. Of course, Brenda was pissed off about something in that. I can't remember what it was. She was pissed off about a lot, though. I think I was going too fast for her with the questions, so she didn't have a chance to answer or something. But yeah, she was not happy with me. Yeah. So I think that's everything. In the event of any ties, whoever answers the fastest will get the point, because it will be time sensitive, and yeah, it's quite simple. It should go well this time. It should. We'll see. Okay, wow, it ended up being a short video. With that said, who will win the Golden Power Veto and the bonus Amethyst Veto in the Big Brother Total Recall Golden Power Veto competition? Find out tomorrow. And Monday, will they use it to save Jeffrey or Rhonda from the chopping block? Tuesday, the final 2 nominees plead their case, and Wednesday is the first live eviction and head of household competition of the season, where the first house guest will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 5 house, but have a chance to redeem themselves at Redemple Temple. I'm Andrew Cheesecake Moonves. Take care, and remember, please be kind and